We all carry an invisible prison within us, a confinement built and sustained by the ghosts of our past. When a new year begins or a sudden wave of resolve hits, many of us swear to completely transform our lives. We declare that starting tomorrow, we will no longer procrastinate, we will stop pleasing others, and we will break free from the paralyzing grip of lethargy. Yet, time and again, we watch these resolutions crumble within a few days, dragging us right back to our starting point. Why does this happen? Is it truly a definitive lack of willpower, or perhaps some genetic predisposition to laziness? It is neither. The explanation is far simpler. While our physical bodies live in the present, our subconscious minds and inner spirits remain firmly anchored to a specific moment in our history. The painful memory of a failure from 5 years ago, a humiliating insult from a decade past, or the toxic environment of our school days acts as a heavy anchor, keeping us stranded in the freezing waters of yesterday. The human brain perceives the chronological flow of time, but it struggles to process the passage of emotional time. Powerful emotional trauma or repeated failures leave a deep, lasting imprint on our subconscious mind, and over time, this imprint hardens into an immense wall that confines us. Every time we attempt a new challenge, a voice whispers from the depths of our mind, asking who we think we are, reminding us of past failures and warning us that people will laugh. This voice is not an external threat. It is a defense mechanism forged by past wounds, acting as the guard of the prison we built for ourselves. If we fail to break free from these wounds, we spend our entire lives wasting valuable energy fighting ghosts. We measure present opportunities through the distorted lens of the past, inevitably turning our future into a mere extension of our history. If you want to change your life, you must first recognize exactly which period of time your mind is trapped in before you even attempt to change your actions. We are the products of our past, but we are under no obligation to become the past itself. This psychological phenomenon was examined and clarified by Dr. Maxwell Maltz, the author of the definitive self-development classic Psycho-Cybernetics. Before he became a pioneer in understanding the human mind, Maltz was a prominent plastic surgeon. He altered the physical appearances of countless patients by reshaping noses, smoothing wrinkles, and erasing scars, believing that correcting these physical flaws would automatically grant them a life of profound happiness. However, as he performed more surgeries, he witnessed a bizarre and unsettling trend. Many patients, despite undergoing flawless physical transformations, still felt ugly, worthless, and profoundly unhappy. Their external faces had changed completely, but the internal mirrors of their minds still reflected the scarred, distorted image from before the surgery. Conversely, there were patients who experienced a complete, vibrant life transformation after the removal of a minor physical flaw. This stark contrast led Dr. Maltz to discover the core concept that governs the human psychological structure, the self-image. The self-image is the subconscious blueprint we hold of ourselves, a deeply rooted definition of who we believe we are. Dr. Maltz explicitly stated that a human being can never outgrow or outperform this self-image. If you define yourself as a failure, your subconscious mind will automatically steer you toward failure, regardless of how many golden opportunities arise or how much willpower you muster. The human brain and nervous system operate much like a cybernetic torpedo guidance system. Once a target coordinate is programmed into a guided missile, it continuously corrects its trajectory against wind and external disruptions. To strike that exact target, our subconscious mind functions the exact same way, with our self-image acting as the target coordinates. If your self-image is programmed with the belief that you are socially awkward, incapable of building wealth, or too weak to follow through, your brain will subconsciously work to fulfill those exact outcomes. You will instinctively push away good people and reject lucrative opportunities out of an underlying fear of the unknown. This happens not because you lack discipline, but because your internal system is working overtime to stay aligned with your established self-image. Unless you correct the flawed coordinates created by past trauma, your hardest efforts will only keep you running in place. The process through which a damaged self-image dismantles our daily lives is incredibly subtle and systematic. First, it manifests as selective perception and cognitive distortion. Human beings naturally accept information that validates their existing self-image while completely ignoring or twisting data that contradicts it. For instance, a person who operates under the assumption that they are incompetent, will dismiss genuine praise from others as mere politeness. On the other hand, a minor piece of criticism will be magnified into definitive proof of their worthlessness. The past trauma acts as a highly biased filter, gathering every external stimulus solely to build a case against their own value. Second, we fall directly into the trap of the self-fulfilling prophecy. When you believe you are someone who eventually quits, your actions naturally become hesitant and half-hearted. You approach new challenges with the subconscious thought that it won't work anyway, preventing you from investing 100% of your energy. This lack of investment naturally yields poor results, allowing you to validate your initial flawed belief by telling yourself you were right all along. It is a vicious cycle where we subconsciously engineer our own failures just to prove our negative assumptions correct. Third, we abuse psychological defense walls. The intense fear of being hurt causes us to stop trying altogether. We close our hearts to prevent rejection, or we procrastinate on a critical project until the final deadline, creating an easy excuse that we simply ran out of time. While these protective walls offer temporary comfort and shield our pride, they ultimately isolate us, allowing our potential to wither away. Past trauma is nothing more than a historical event that has already concluded. However, when the conclusions you drew from that event, such as believing you are fundamentally broken or unworthy of love, are allowed to rule your present, you remain a passive hostage to your history, just like the patients who remained miserable because their internal identity never shifted despite plastic surgery. Changing your environment, your job, or your social circle will achieve nothing. If your self-image remains untouched, the script of your life will always lead to the exact same tragic ending. This toxic chain must be broken immediately. No matter what kind of environment you grew up in, or how devastating your past failures were, those experiences are merely historical data points, not your definitive identity. The fact that your past self made poor choices does not give anyone the authority to label your current self a failure. And that includes you. Redefining your self-image and reclaiming the driver's seat of your life requires a radical inner revolution. First, you must establish an absolute separation between your past and your present. Draw an uncompromising line in the sand. You must declare to yourself that while your past self was young, wounded, and experienced failure, those events belong strictly to a previous chapter and have no power to define the person breathing in this exact moment. Whenever a painful memory resurfaces, observe it with the objective detachment of an outside spectator. It is simply a single frame from an old movie, and you must refuse to let it stain the screen of your present reality. Next, you must practice creative visualization to reprogram your subconscious mind. Dr. Maltz proved that the human brain cannot tell the difference between an actual physical experience and an intensely detailed mental rehearsal. Spend just 10 minutes every day visualizing the exact version of yourself you wish to become, a person who establishes healthy boundaries, executes tasks with deep focus, and enjoys profound inner peace. You must feel the associated emotions, visualize your facial expressions, and imagine the environment clearly. Consistent, vivid visualization is the most effective tool available for overriding your subconscious coordinates. Finally, you must accumulate small, daily victories that align with this new identity. This does not require monumental overnight changes. Instead, focus on taking one minor action today that reflects the person you have decided to be. Eat a healthy meal to honor your body firmly, but politely decline an unreasonable request, or dedicate just 5 uninterrupted minutes to a task you have been avoiding. As these small wins accumulate as fresh data in your brain, your new self-image transitions from a theoretical concept into your dominant reality. If the lens through which you view the world is warped and dirty, even the most beautiful landscape will appear distorted and bleak. What you need to alter is not the world or the people around you, but the internal lens through which you view yourself. Smash the scratched, outdated lens of your past. Starting today, define yourself by your highest potential and your most resilient qualities. The authority over your identity has always belonged, and will always belong entirely to you. The reason human behavioral change is notoriously difficult is that we consistently try to fix external behaviors while leaving the internal identity untouched. Resolving to quit a bad habit, lose weight, or study harder are all attempts made strictly within the realm of action. However, if the underlying self-image remains anchored to the belief that you are undisciplined or incapable of self-control, your brain will fight tooth and nail to drag you back to your familiar, destructive routines. Forced discipline and raw willpower are finite, resources that evaporate the moment. Your mental energy is depleted. Genuine, lasting transformation never begins with forced behavior. It starts with a fundamental redefinition of who you are. When you truly believe you are a specific type of person, the correct actions follow naturally without agonizing effort. A person who finds reading excruciatingly difficult often holds an internal definition of themselves as someone who isn't intellectual. Conversely, someone who views themselves as a lifelong seeker of knowledge will naturally pick up a book without needing to force the action, because their subconscious coordinates are already set to that destination. Therefore, you must completely reverse the sequence of your personal growth. Before you stress over what actions to take, decide exactly who you want to be. You must firmly reject the false identities that your past trauma has whispered to you. Those labels are merely the messy byproducts of a time when you had no control over your circumstances. You are now the absolute ruler of your own mind. Strip away the limiting labels that your parents, your peers, or your historical failures placed upon you. You are infinitely more capable than the narrow definitions they assign to you. The moment you activate the innate success mechanism within your mind, every past wound transforms into valuable fuel for your growth. Having a history of deep pain means you possess an equal capacity for profound insight. Do not weaponize your past pain against yourself instead. Use it as a solid foundation to heal others and strengthen your own character. This is the true definition of a paradigm shift and a complete inner restoration. Furthermore, you must abandon the temptation to validate your worth through the approval of others. Individuals with a fragile self-image invariably anchor their self-worth to external validation. When they are praised, they feel on top of the world, but a single cold reaction drops them straight into psychological despair. Operating this way means you have handed the steering wheel of your life to complete strangers. Other people will never be responsible for your destiny, and their opinions are highly volatile, shifting constantly based on their personal moods and selfish interests. Never stake your personal dignity on something so unstable. The only evaluation that carries genuine weight is how you view yourself. When you respect your own being and establish firm, unshakable boundaries, the world naturally loses its ability to treat you poorly, using past suffering as an excuse to neglect. Your current potential is simply granting a delayed victory to the people or circumstances that hurt you in the first place. Refuse to let their past actions dictate your future trajectory. The ultimate form of vindication is to thrive, grow, and achieve profound happiness regardless of what happened. Upgrading your self-image and cultivating deep internal strength is not an overnight process, as you are actively re-engineering neural pathways that have been reinforced for decades. However, there is no reason to be discouraged. The human brain possesses neuroplasticity, meaning that every time we intentionally repeat a new thought pattern, we physically rewrite the cellular connections within our minds. If past trauma has carved a deep negative canyon in your psyche, you must deliberately pave a new highway, using consistent thoughts of strength and certainty. At first, imagining yourself as a confident, grounded individual might feel completely unnatural, almost like a lie, but the subconscious mind ultimately surrenders to repetition. A new image, when fed continuously into your mind, will eventually displace the old identity and claim its rightful place as your reality. Do not just audit your physical appearance when you look in the mirror. Audit the state of your mind. Constantly question whether you are defining yourself accurately today or if you are still bleeding control to yesterday's wounds. That awareness is the precise moment you stop living as a hostage to your past and start living as the master of your destiny. Program these new, empowering coordinates into your mind today. You possess the internal cybernetic mechanism required to see this transformation through. Shed the old skin of your past failures, embrace your redefined identity, and step forward into the world with absolute conviction.